أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله تعالى نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا إنه من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما ثم أما بعد Inshallah, we're trying to end our talk and our series of khutbah about reforming. And we mentioned that Abdul Rahman Al Kawakibi rahmahullah wrote a book called Al Qura, or like the other name of Mecca. And he came up with some discussions and recommendations how to get the ummah out of the crisis that we are facing. And subhanallah, the whole idea of the book goes around a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam عن ثوبان رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يوشك الأمم أن تداعى عليكم كما تداعى الأكلة إلى قصعتها فقال قائل ومن قلة يومئذ قال بل أنتم يومئذ كثير ولكنكم غثاء كغثاء السيل ولا ينزعن الله من صدور عدوكم مهابتكم أو المهابة منكم ولا يقذفن الله في قلوبكم الوهن فقال قائل يا رسول الله وما الوهن قال حب الدنيا وكراهية الموت. This beautiful hadith, the whole book goes around this hadith, and Rasulullah in this hadith said that the people will come together upon you to attack you, similar to the people who are someone invite others to come for dinner or food, and they will, you know, when you are hungry and everybody trying to eat as much as he can. This is what the analogy to what will happen to the ummah. And a man asked Rasulullah, because Ya Rasulullah we are few, and Rasulullah said no, you will be many, you know, numerous number that you will have, but you will be scum and rubbish. Like when you see the flood and the rubbish float on top of any stream of water, you have no value. This is what the meaning, because what we see in any river or stream of water, all this rubbish has no value, meaning you will be has no value at that time. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take away from your breasts or from your hearts the fear. He'll take from your enemies the fear of you, and he will plant in your heart the wahan. And the wahan is, in English they say inversion, which is similar to weakness, but the difference is the weak person, weakness is opposite to strength or power. But the difference of wahan is when someone has the tools of power and strength, but he's not using them. Someone is wealthy or has knowledge, has power, but he's not using them. He will be part of wahan. He's not weak. The weak person, he doesn't have any of those. So this is the main difference, meaning you will be lazy. You will focus on something else. And Rasulullah said, the explanation of al-wahan, and he said, you love this dunya so much and you dislike death. And again, it's not about we love the death. Nobody loves to die. But meaning that we know that this dunya is a test. And whatever in this test, we have to pass this test or exam to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we all claim that we love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if we ask you now, who is the most one you love the most? And you say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We all love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we know in a human level, when you love someone, you like to meet him. So why you don't like to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Because the death, in fact, is ending the test, ending this difficult time, and we're going to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So why you are worried when you are going to meet the one you love and the one you claim that you love? And this is the true test of Iman. That we claim that we love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but we don't like death. We don't like to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We worry too much about the dunya, to the limit that we make haram, and to commit haram because our desires and our love to women, wealth, children, land, and so on. We fight each other, we kill each other, we cheat, we steal. But if we don't love dunya, the dunya is not that important. As you know the story of Abu Hanifa, rahimahullah. Abu Hanifa was a very rich man, and at the same time very pious man, very righteous. So when his students told him, "Nakhsha alayka min ad-dunya," "Oh Imam, we are worried about you because you're so rich, you have too much money." And he said this beautiful statement, "Ma tarawnahu fi yadi wa laysa fi qalbi." Whatever you see in my hand, not in my heart. Yes, we need to have the dunya. As a Muslim, you should be powerful. You should have money, knowledge, power, anything you imagine. But have it in your hand, not in your heart. And this is what the hadith is talking about. The problem is when we love the dunya too much in our heart, to the limit that we disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this beautiful hadith, that the whole book talk about reforming, how we do reforming, how we do islah to the society. Even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in many ayat talk about also al-wahan, فَمَا وَهَنُوا لِمَا أَصَابَهُمْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ وَمَا ضَعْفُوا وَمَا اسْتَكَانُوا. فَمَا وَهَنُوا also, meaning they don't have this feeling of weakness when they struggle in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because the moment you say, I'm Muslim, you know, we see what's happening in our brothers. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them Rahman, mercy, those who in Turkey and Syria. And may Allah give them mercy and heal the sick and support them and be with them. See, the moment everyone now helping Turkey, which is very important to help Turkey. But the northern of Syria have a little support. After 4 days, United Nations saying, yesterday we have only like 14 trucks. We don't have any heavy equipment to help the people under all this, dust and so people need help, but because they struggle and they refused to disobey this tyrant and to be under his rule, they paying the price. So every time you say, I'm a free man, ana hur, you will pay the price. Every time you say, I want to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I want to live my life up to Islam and up to Quran, up to Sunnah, it will be a struggle. So through this path, don't give up. Don't be weak. Don't have this wahan. So you don't stop in the way and don't fall back. So the idea here is we need to move forward. We need to work together. In our history, we always have a person, a leader, who will come forward and support, gather the people behind him and lead people and so on. But what Abdul Rahman Al Kawakibi said, and this is what happened in the last 200 years, we don't have a reformer that we look up to, but we have organizations. That as Muslims, we were able to build organizations to serve the Ummah. And we said many examples, not only the Muslim Brotherhood in the Arab country, the Jama'ah Islamiyya in India and Pakistan, Jama'at Tabligh al-Da'wah, Tabligh brothers in India too, ICNA, ISNA, MAC, all these organizations, they came together to fulfill the need of the Ummah. And of course, again, I am not saying they are angels and they don't make any mistakes. They do mistakes. And because they are working, they do mistakes. If you stay at home doing nothing, nobody will criticize you. But the moment you come forward and you work with the people, imagine someone came in the morning to clean the masjid for us to pray Jum'ah. And for your bad luck, the poor lady forgot an area. And while you're making sujood, something hits your forehead. And you say, oh, astaghfirullah, how come these people, they are not honest anymore, they don't clean properly and so on. The poor lady cleaned the whole masjid. The whole masjid. And efficiency-wise, this is 99.9. And she made a mistake. But we don't see the goodness, we see the mistake. And we start to criticize. But if she sat at home, relaxing, watching TVs and movies and blah, 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 nobody will mention her in good or bad. So when you move forward, when you try to do something, this is where you make mistakes. And this is why I said, with all this organization, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed us with the Salafi movement. All over the Muslim world, we have some ulama saying, you know what, you're doing great, but you're making a mistake. This is bid'ah. Don't read from this book. Read from that book. This hadith is da'if or weak. This has the authentic one is so and so. Collectively, the ummah correcting itself. But where we failed up to now is even there's some organization doing a lot of work, as people, we are not involved yet. We still sit and watch. And this is where we need to move. Why? I'm asking you now, like I'm asking myself. I know you have your life. I know you have a beautiful wife. And you have kids. And you have your business. And you have your work. Fine. But what you have, how many times you allocate or assign to the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Every week. Even 1 hour. Said, I will do this, 2 hours. I will take portion of my money every month. I will take $10. This is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To help my ummah. And I will work 2 hours every week. With any organization. Some people ask me, you mentioned all these names. Which one is correct? And I said, the closest to your house. Don't overthink. They are all good. But nobody's perfect. Rasulullah ﷺ is a perfect human. After him, nobody is perfect. Everybody will have shortcomings and mistakes. But it doesn't mean that someone is 99% or 80% or 70% or, you don't follow him. No. Whatever masjid close to your house, join the work in the masjid. Something you don't like, you can give advice in a good way. Something they don't do, you do it. You start any project. Many people, I'm not saying this because I'm important or not. I'm servant in this masjid and I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us ikhlas and sincerity to accept from us. When someone approached me and said, what, I have an idea. I ask him, before you tell me the idea, are you willing to come forward and work to implement your idea? If he said no, I said, brother, I have no time. I have enough load on my shoulder, but I want you to do it. I will help you to do it. But many people like to come, what, brother, we need to do this. Brother, we need to do that. No, brother, we need together to do it. And this is the message. What you done, and if you are not doing anything, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's sake, take some of your time. I'm not saying all your time. No, I want you to enjoy your life. But in the same time, take some of your time. And you don't have to come and memorize Quran and study fiqh. No. Because we need, in every aspect of, or every field of life, we need engineers, we need lawyers, we need accountants, we need many different fields. And this is why we can work together. We have Abdul ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu. He never joined an army to fight the enemies of Islam. He stayed behind in Al-Medina, and at the end of his life he moved to At-Taif and he buried there radiallahu anhu. Abdullah ibn Abbas was the Turjuman al-Quran, the translator of the Quran, the one who conveyed lots of tafsir and understanding of the verses of the Quran to us. But in the same time we have Khalid bin Walid. Khalid bin Walid was the greatest, general in history of the military, armies and so on. He used to pray, and when he lead people, he make mistakes in the Quran. And after he finished, forgive me because شغلني الجهاد وعن حفظ القرآن. I was busy with jihad to learn the Quran and that. So we need both of them. We need the alim who teach us the deen, and we need the people who make jihad in life. Lawyers to defend Muslims. We need IT people to think about ideas. When Corona happened, this virtual world that people now doing, a lot before we used to travel to the shuyukh. And you read in the history, journey of ilm. 20 years, 30 years looking for a shuyukh and staying in every city or town for 5-10 years. Now, mashallah, with this technology, you stay at your home, you have all the mashayikh online. You can phone them, you can discuss with them. This technology need people to make jihad to deliver the ilm to the ummah. So the main point is, what is you, not you, which is, you can say me, your role, what you should do, or role, what is your role to change the condition of the ummah. And this is what we are missing. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى واشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له واشهد ان محمدا عبده ورسوله ثم اما بعد. I will just give you an example, since we are living like this month is they call it Black History, and I don't like the word black and white because there is no one white, this color or white. We are a degree of beige, all of us. But I will say the Afro-American history, This example of the people who brought to US as slaves 300 years ago, 400 years ago, and then their struggle, the civil movement of the Afro-American people, it's a great story to learn from. Our conditions as Muslims in North America, our conditions much, much better than the Afro-American people, okay? But people expect that things will change tomorrow. When I allocate this 1 hour or 2 hours to the ummah, why the ummah is not improving? I start to do some work. I'm donating $10 a month. Why the condition of the ummah is not changing? It needs time. Like you cook. Why the meat? You can put the meat and no time it will come cooked. Chemistry has to take time. Heat, changing the ummah will take time. And I have no time to read, but there's a lot of, I'll just give you steps, and I hope during this month we read about our Afro-American brothers and learn from their experience. Of course, Canada was a great country to receive and accept all the people who running from slavery from the south of United States to north of US and to Canada. So Canada was a good place for many people to come. Initially, after all this struggle in 1868, they have this Amendment 14, which is stating that for the first time that any person born in US, he will be American citizen. This was a great achievement because before that they have no value. You go into the market and you buy and sell people. Nobody recognizes them. So they don't know what to do with them. But there's a lot of struggle with the Afro-American people. Still, the Constitution recognizes their rights to be American citizen. From 1868 up to 1965 or 96, 65, 66, when Kennedy, the one who they assassinated him, of course, he established really the laws and the rules to give the black people or the Afro-American the same rights. When they have this law, most of the states in south of US, they said, okay, they are equal but separated. So equal but separated, meaning we allow them to be American citizen, but we will have white schools and black schools. We have white restaurants and black restaurants. And if we have one restaurant, we'll have two doors. One for the white and one for the black. Imagine, you have no right to go on a bus. When you go on the bus, the bus was divided. And we all know this lady. And of course, this laws, they call Jim Crow laws, which is equal but separated. Until many people, and this is why don't undermine yourself. There is someone who work in sociology and anthropology, and he made an experiment. He took a white doll and a black doll, a toy, and he went to all the schools, white and black, and he asked the kids, which one is good, which one is bad? All the kids, white and black, they said that the white toy or the white doll is good and the black one is bad. One lawyer, one black lawyer or Afro-American lawyer, he took this study and challenged the laws in US. And after huge struggle, they won. And for the first time, they start to, the federal government force the state's government to allow the kids together to go in the same school, even universities, up to 60s. And it ended with this great lady, Rosa Parks. In the bus, we have, we have 40 seats, 40 rows of seats, or 20, whatever. So the first 10 rows will go to white people, and the last 10 will go to the black people. So actually Rosa sat on the first row of the black, or the seats assigned to black people. And then, which is the last one, the first one after the last one of the white people seats. Four white people came on the bus, and the driver stopped, and he told the four people sitting on the first row of the black seats, stand up and go back, because we have four white people and they need to sit. Actually, they say that 3 men and 1 woman. So the 3 men, but actually not men, they stood up. They are males, but they are not men. You know what I mean? كانوا ذكورا ولم يكونوا رجالا. They are male by anatomy, but they are not men. So they stood up and went back. And this great lady, better than many men, she refused to stand up for the white people or white passengers. Just normal woman like you and me. But she didn't accept to be humiliated. And she said, enough is enough. And this is why sometimes we think about leaders. We need people who knows how to talk, how to think for us. we need, all this, what we need, Salah ad-Din and Qutuz and all the great names in our history. You can make a change. This poor lady, this brave lady, Rosa Parks, she refused, and the whole Afro-American community refused to go on buses for almost a year, forcing the federal government and the state governments to change. It took 150 years for this moment. The rules and the laws are there. But if you don't stand for your rights, nobody will give it to you. Martin Luther King, which they assassinated, like Malcolm X that they assassinated too, have a beautiful statement. He said, nobody can ride you unless your back is bent. If you stand, nobody can come on top of you and ride you. But if you bend like a donkey, anyone will ride you. So this is the time. Alhamdulillah, we have huge resources in the Muslim community. But we are not able to achieve what we aim for because everybody's saying, he will do it, he will do it, he will do it. Let me end with this beautiful story about, that you all know, about a king or a mayor in a city, and he ordered his people to bring 1 cup of milk and fill this tank. So everybody came from his house with 1 cup of milk, 1 cup of milk, 1 cup of milk. After 2-3 days, the king went to open the tank, and he found the tank full of water, because everyone thought this way: what the tank of water will do to a tank full of milk? Nothing, But the problem, we all think the same way. If we all don't do anything, who will change the condition for you? Like if you don't do it yourself, who will do it for you? And this is a major obstacle to take our ummah from the current condition to better condition. You, the one who are delaying the victory and glory to this ummah, because you are not doing your part. And every time we have any achievement, like Sister Amira Al-Gawabi that were assigned, assigned to be the representative of the government, of Canadian government against Islamophobia. She needs our support because there's a huge attack on her because some comment she made about Bill 21. And as Muslim Canadian Muslims, or Muslim Canadian, we are against Bill 21 because the Muslims or Muslims will pay the price, especially sisters with hijab. Either she works in the education system without her hijab, or she stay at home if she decide to work. So Bill 21 is completely wrong and against the Constitution and human rights of Canada. And this is what Sister Amira said. And now they, again, our brothers, our French Canadian brothers, attacking her because she's against Bill 21. But all Muslims against Bill 21. So she needs our support. So again, you have to be aware of what's happening. And you have to stand for your rights. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this ummah awake again. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to teach us the Quran and Sunnah, and to make us the best follower of the Quran of Sunnah. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. اللهم ردنا والمسلمين أيدينك ردا جميلا. اللهم املأ قلوبنا بحبك وحب من أحبك وحب كل عمل يقرب إلى حبك. اللهم ارحم إخواننا في تركيا وفي سوريا يا رب العالمين. اللهم كن معهم. اللهم ارحم موتاهم. اللهم اجبر كسرهم. اللهم يا رب العالمين تقبل شهداءهم. اللهم اكسر عريانهم وأطعم جائعهم. اللهم يا رب العالمين أعنا على أن نساعدهم يا رب العالمين. اللهم يا رب العالمين نسألك في هذا اليوم العظيم أن تنصر الإسلام والمسلمين في كل زمان وفي كل مكان. اللهم ارحم أمواتنا وأموات المسلمين، واغفر لآبائنا وأمهاتنا إلى أبينا آدم وأمنا حواء. اللهم اهد ذريتنا إلى يوم الدين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. Inshallah, any donation today will go towards our brothers in Turkey and Syria, inshallah, through Islamic Relief. So inshallah, as much as you can, please help your brothers and don't forget them in your dua and your support.